voicemail and then text you to call me back later. It's fine. No need. Yeah, enough with the love, I need to be hated again. I need somebody to wake at the beast and really get under my skin. I need somebody to push me, tell me that I ain't no good with the pen. I need somebody to poke and pry and really get into my head. I need somebody to laugh, tell me I'm trash, tell me I might as well quit. I need somebody to grab the blade in my back, stab and give it a twist. I need somebody to smash, break on my plaques, tell me I shouldn't exist. I need somebody to ask why you even rap, you never be one of the I need somebody to brag and show me the cash and tell me you'll never be rich. I need somebody with stats and numbers and facts, tell me I ain't got no hits. I need somebody who's whack and ain't got no class, tell me I'm not in they list. I need somebody to act like I'm in the past so I can remind them I'm here. I need somebody to give me a reason. Whoa, give me a reason. Hey, give me a reason. Whoa, yeah, give me a reason. I forgot what that struggle like. I forgot what that hustle like. I forgot what that humble like. I forgot what that. I ain't forget about nothing to keep it 100. I'm honestly bored. I wanna feel like I felt when nobody was following me and I had no awards. I wanna get better hearing them call me you wanna be shady, you ain't got no voice. I want the people that promise they'd always be with me to leave me and walk out the door. I want the fans to quit buying the tickets to tell me they don't wanna see me on tour. I want the label to drop me and tell me it's over, the music ain't making no noise. I want the critics to call me a gimmick and tell me they thought I was better before. I wanna hear you keep talking the way that you talking when no one's around to record. I wanna I want a story, I wanna hear about how you ain't feeling the music and why it ain't better than yours. I wanna, yeah, tell me some more. I wanna hear about, I wanna talk about, I wanna hear that. I need some other. Yeah, give me a reason. Whoa, give me a reason. Hey, give me a reason. Whoa, give me a reason. I forgot what that struggle like. I forgot what that hustle like. I forgot what that humble like. I forgot what that.
This is not for the algorithm.
Word. Ayo, this the last one. For the high king, the everlast one. Everyone undercooked like it was half done. Never backed up, or never backed us, so money couldn't trap us. Taking dudes to school like fast for the life after. Laugh at half the cats they gas up. Wanna edit that trash, hey, get that cap cut. Dag, bruh, if you wanted the real, should've asked us. I'm friends with a Holy Ghost, ain't no Casper. Fast for 4 days in this presence, my dogs, they gon' lap up. Turn my valleys to Napa. Who wanna be more Christian than rapper? I ain't got no master, cause now I own my masters. Ain't worried about truth telling, messing bags up. Spoke to the left in the maggers, virtue signaling yappers. Rappers that's really actors, and people that trust they politicians over they pastors. You know I'ma flag ya, pro-life from the wound in the Gaza. Whose side are you after? We conservative with an asterisk. You pass the glory of God, then I'm going backwards. Pray for every president, he wins, we win. But if you can't call him out when he sends the end, defend, D-men, you should tell to repent. Only election saving us is it Ephesians. Come to the deep end, our faith here is deep in Yeshua HaMashiach, we deep in.
Guys, gals, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it has been a little bit. But I am back. It is good to have you taking the time to hang out with me. Hello, hello, hello. If you don't know me, hi, my name is Tyler Ramsby. I am the host for tonight's stream, and I suppose for all the streams on my channel, since I'm the only one who streams on my channel, but it's good to have you here. Hey, a little bit about me. I am the founder of a pen testing firm called KairosSec. I'm also the founder of a training platform called Hack Smarter. So if you are interested in learning ethical hacking with labs and things that you can actually afford, a lot of them completely free, if you haven't already, go to hacksmarter.org. I just realized it's not on the screen. There we go. And then if your company is in need of a pen test, I would love to hack your company before the criminals do. So you can check out kairos-sec.com to learn more about that. And hey, if this is one of your first times here, I would love to hear that. So if you're a first timer, even if you see my other videos, but you're stumbling across a live stream for the first time, let me know. I would love to give you a proper welcome. But guys, it has been a bit. I will do a little bit of story time, catch you guys up to speed on why I have been MIA for a while. Hey, we got Tanstagal says, I am a first timer. Let's go. Good to have you here. D-Man says it's his third time. I'll welcome you as well. We got Rainbow in the Dark said first time. Let's go. T. Garner with the first time. Gerardo Melero, if I'm saying the right, first time, or IT Pirate, first time. Amazing. Where'd you guys come from? Why weren't you here before? Chryson for a first timer. Love it. Thank you so much, guys, for taking the time to hang out. First time this month. It's my first time this month as well. First time live stream, let's go. We got Annalise as well checking in. I love it. And I scrolled up to the top. I see a bunch of the regulars. Good to see all of you. Good to have you hanging out. Guys, today I will be giving away 2 vouchers of all access to the Hack Smarter platform. So first of all, if you don't know what Hack Smarter is, we're kind of like Hack the Box, but cooler. Just don't tell Hack the Box I said that, because I do like them as well. But very affordable platform for learning ethical hacking. Probably the biggest difference is it's heavily focused on realism. If I don't see it in an engagement, you're not going to see it on the platform. But we have courses. We have Hack With Me's, which are like mini courses. We have full ranges. These are private networks for you to hack into. We just released a brand new one called the Westbridge University. And we have a bunch of labs here that you can launch. Everyone's private for the student, covering all kinds of things: AWS, web, Windows, Linux, AD, Blue Team, all of the fun stuff. So if you haven't checked out Hack Smarter, make sure you guys check it out. Even if you don't win the giveaway, it is a very, very affordable platform. But what I am going to be giving away today, we had a really generous member of our community donate 1 all access pass to Hack Smarter. Now, all access means it unlocks everything on the platform. You will get access to all the courses, all the Hack With Me's, all the ranges, all the labs, unlimited access. It's about a $360 value. And so someone donated to give that away on tonight's stream. They wanted to remain anonymous, but you know who you are. Thank you for your generosity. And I thought, yo, I might as well just match them. So I'm also going to give away an all access subscription. So not just 1, we are going to give away 2 12-month all access subscriptions in a little bit. I'm going to make you guys hang around for a while. You can hang out with me. We'll do the giveaway probably in 10 minutes or so, and then you guys can bounce if you want to. Also, like fully up front, I'm not going to live stream super long tonight. If this is your first time here, let me tell you how these things normally go and why tonight's going to be a little bit different. So generally when I live stream, what we do is I spend about 30 minutes doing an AMA. Any questions that you have about cybersecurity, business, pen testing, life in general. And then at the end of the AMA, we dive into our live hacking portion where we are working our way through one of the labs from the Hack Smarter platform. You can hack right alongside of me. I share my screen. I explain the methodology. I explain what we are doing. But I am not going to do that tonight for a few reasons. Well, 1, we have a new lab, a new Active Directory multi-machine lab releasing tomorrow. If my memory serves me correct, I think it's a 3-machine lab, but it will be just in our standalone lab. So anyone with the hands-on lab subscription will get access to it, but we are releasing that tomorrow. And I've been so incredibly busy on a pen test engagement that I haven't got a chance to set anything up. So I still need to do all of that work tonight and get everything ready to release tomorrow morning. So I need to do that. instead of doing the fun hacking stuff with you guys. But I did want to jump on here, say hello, hang out for a little bit, do an AMA, and do the giveaway. Now, if all goes well, I will be back again tomorrow night, and then tomorrow night we'll spend our time doing hacking. So if you are interested in the hands-on hacking, live hacking, teaching, all of that good stuff, that will be happening tomorrow night. Stream will be starting around the same time, basically whenever I get my kids to bed, and then we'll do our traditional hacking stream tomorrow. Oh, more first timers. I love it. Hello, Miriam. I think I'm missing some other people as well. So much stuff in chat. So good to have you guys here. Why is there a LinkedIn chat? Is there a live stream there? Yes. So I forgot to mention in the beginning, guys, I am live right now on 3 different platforms. So we have, amazing, we have about 100 people right now across the 3 different platforms. But I am live right now on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch. On YouTube and LinkedIn, I just stream under my name, Tyler Ramsby. And it's chat. Oh, chat is there. It's chat on this one. There we go. LinkedIn and YouTube, it's Tyler Ramsby. Twitch, it is hack_smarter. Regardless of what stream you are joining from, I have the chat all pulled up on Restream, so I can see the chat from every platform. Should all be good. All right, before we do the AMA, guys, let me do a little bit of story time. I'll try to make this fast. So if you're like, Tyler, where have you been? Well, a few things have gone on. One, I was at DEF CON. So if you were at DEF CON and we got to meet, that's amazing. Let me know if you're at DEF CON and we got to at least say hello. I hosted a meetup at DEF CON on Friday with my friend Jerry from Simply Cyber. It was amazing. Hung out with a bunch of different people every night at DEF CON. That was awesome. All right. Well, I took the week off after DEF CON to hang out with my family. So I already knew I wasn't going to be streaming. But here's the thing. I got back from DEF CON Monday at around 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. Tuesday morning, I wake up and here is where kind of my world began falling apart. We have a stray cat that we've been sort of taking care of. You know, generally not a good idea, but I love cats. My kids love cats. So there's this little stray cat, not even a full-size cat, that before I left DEF CON, we were taking care of with some food and water and playing with a cat and things like that. Incredibly friendly cat. All right. Well, on Tuesday morning, I was still in bed and my kids, I'm going to put in quotations, accidentally let the stray cat into my house. Now, I have a cat of my own, which obviously I don't want them to fight. So I heard my wife say, I don't know what she said, but I could tell like something happened. The cat's in our house. So I hop out of bed and I have shorts on, if I remember right, not pants. That's key to the story. So I have shorts on, I hop out of bed. I shut my bedroom door so my cat can't get out. And now the stray cat is running around my house just terrified out of its mind. Like, I don't think it's ever been inside of a house before, and now it's trapped. So it runs from upstairs in my living room. It runs down the stairs into the basement where I'm at now. It's like running all around my basement, running up on the couch, trying to jump off the couch, like essentially to fly. I don't know what it was doing, but it's running around. And now I have this bright idea. Okay, I have a stray cat running through my house. Maybe I should just grab it. Well, you shouldn't do that, but that's what I did. I think my mind was in just like fight or flight response. I need to get this cat. So the cat is running, actually happened right in front of me in my basement area. The cat is running, right? And then I reach down to grab the cat as it's running. As soon as I touch it, it grabs onto my leg and bites me multiple times, scratches my leg up, like my leg, I'm not going to show it to you. It's mostly healed now, but my leg was like covered in blood. So that is awesome. Cat is still out. So now I have a stray cat running around my house, totally not vaccinated, just an outdoor cat that has now bit me multiple times. If you know anything about cat bites, they're extremely toxic. Like, they go south really, really, really fast. So the cat bites me. The cat is still in my house. I call animal control, who they eventually sent a police officer to my house right after I got the cat out. So we eventually were able to get the cat to go back out the door, and it took off running. Then a police officer shows up at my house to, I don't know, arrest the cat. I don't know what he was going to do. So I walk outside and the cop's there. He's like, "Hey, I'm here for a cat." And I'm like, "Yo, we got the cat out, but it did bite me and scratch me." And the cop sort of laughed at me and he said, "Well, sounds like you get to have rabies shots." And I said, "Freaking fantastic." And that's essentially what happened. So I ended up getting to my doctor right away. Thankfully, I got on antibiotics, but because there was no vaccination records for this cat and we didn't catch it at that time, I had to do the full rabies treatment, which when I was reading about it online, I was like, yo, it can't be that bad. But you need to understand here. I'll give you, well, I won't give you the keywords. You can look it up. When you need to get rabies treatment, especially for an animal bite, there's a few different things you can do. Now, I knew I wasn't in for a good time because when the nurse was bringing me back to the room, before we got to the room, she looked at me and she said, okay, don't panic when you see all the shots. And that's not what you want to hear when you're going back to a little hospital room. So I get into this room. I posted a picture on Discord. I should have had it ready. I don't have it ready. But I grabbed a picture of Discord. The table was just full of shots, all for me. But those weren't even the worst ones. You see, when they're treating you for rabies or an animal bite that might have rabies, they have to inject what's called immunoglobulin into wherever you got bit or scratched. Immunoglobulin is not like a regular shot. It is made from human plasma. It's very like thick, syrupy stuff, this immunoglobulin. So it hurts more than your typical shot. What makes it even worse, guys, is my leg was already all scratched up, bloodied, multiple bite marks in my leg. So my leg was already in a lot of pain from being freaking ripped apart by a cat. Well, what I did not realize is those shots have to go into the bites and scratches. And it's based on your body weight. I'm not a small dude. I'm about 6'1", 240 pounds, give or take. And so I had to have around 15 shots directly into the cuts and bites on my leg. I have a high pain tolerance. It was freaking miserable. I do not recommend it. Once I finished that, I had to have 3 shots in both of my thighs, 3 shots in both of my shoulders, and then I had to go back every couple of days for more shots. That's not even the worst part. You have to keep in mind, I live in the US and healthcare sucks in the US. So I just got the bill for all my rabies treatment and it was right around $20,000 pre-insurance. Thankfully, I do have insurance. It's not great, but after insurance, I still owe the doctor, I think it was almost $6,000, a little over $5,000 that I get to pay for my stray cat. But it gets better. The cat, which we realized after the fact looking at photos, had ringworm, right? Little patches of hair falling off. Well, my kids love this cat, so both of my kids then got ringworm. My son has ringworm right on the middle of his forehead, so I'm sure that's fun for him. I started calling my daughter Wormy, although she doesn't like it when I call her that because she always cuddled with the cat. So she has like 3 ringworms spots on her chest, ringworm on her back, and then it gets even better. On Sunday, I realized, hey, my arm itches really bad. And I mean, I won't show it to you. It's just a small red circle. But on the inside of my arm, I too now have ringworm. So I got attacked by a stray cat. I had to do the rabies treatment. Both of my kids currently have ringworm. I also have ringworm. So now we're doing the antifungal stuff. I'm trying not to give ringworm to my real cat because that's an even bigger disaster if a cat gets ringworm. And then, ladies and gentlemen, on top of all of that, my fridge broke. So it was a crazy week. So I got attacked by a cat on Tuesday. I think was it Wednesday or Thursday? Anyway, shortly after that, we realized everything in our fridge was warm. It's like, fantastic. So now the fridge is broken. I put a little temperature in there and we didn't have a fridge for a while. We finally get someone to come repair the fridge. The fridge works for maybe about a week. And as of yesterday, my fridge is broke again right after we bought groceries. So now all the groceries that were bought and put in the fridge are now bad and our fridge is broken again. And now we're waiting for them to come and repair it again. I think that's everything. It has been freaking in. Oh, and then on top of that, guys, I guess the only other thing is I also, the church that I attend does not have any pastors right now. So then on top of all this, the week or last Sunday when I was already busy with an engagement, I also had to preach. So last week I was working during the day, also working at night, and then also trying to prepare a sermon to preach. Long story. I used to be a pastor way back in the day. I'm not anymore, but I still preach occasionally. But it's been probably the busiest season. Oh, and my kids started school as well last week. They started their first day of school. It's been crazy. So if you're like, Tyler, where have you been? Are you still alive? Barely. I'm still here. Barely. And then, I mean, this is a good problem to have, but I'm also on a very large internal pen test engagement. So my first day back to work, I kicked off a 10-day internal. I'm almost done with it this week. It'll be done end of this week, but just like large engagement has taken all of my focus. So that's been my focus every day during the day. So if you've emailed me from Hack Smarter and you're like, hey, Tyler, why aren't you responding? You'll notice that I probably email you late at night when I'm trying to get caught up on stuff. So it was not my intention to be gone this long, but here I am, battle scarred. My leg is still, I mean, I won't show you my leg, but ouch. This happened, I don't know how many days ago. You can still see the bite marks all over my leg. So it has been, John, is John in chat? My buddy John, aka Jesus, just texted me, dude, you didn't tell me about the ringworm. Yes, it has been, it has been a crazy time. But I'm still here. I'm still alive. I hope you guys have had a much better week than I have. But what are some things you found in your internal this week? I don't really like to talk about things I found on an actual pen test. Maybe in like 6 months from now, we'll talk about it. But you want to be very careful what you say for a client. Okay, I'm scrolling up in chat. Well, here's what we're going to do, guys. I know some of you are in different time zones. So my live stream right now is in a very strange time zone for you, and you are here specifically for the giveaway. So I want to go ahead and get that giveaway done. As a reminder, I am giving away 2 12-month all-access passes to Hack Smarter. This unlocks everything on the platform, all courses, all Hack With Me's, all ranges, and all labs. One of them was donated by a generous member of our community, and the second one I am donating myself. So each one is worth almost $400, and we are giving away 2 all-access passes to the Hack Smarter platform, and then I'll do the AMA. So I see AMA questions. Please keep your questions in mind. We will come to that, but I know some of you are in different time zones, so I just want to get the giveaway done, and then we'll do some AMA. And then, like I said, I'm not going to stream super long because I still have to work tonight on Hack Smarter and get a lab ready to release for tomorrow. So here is how I am going to do the giveaway. I have a Google form, very simple form for you to fill out. I am asked, what in the world? Okay, there's something broken with the Google form. Like when I try to copy the responder link, it doesn't work. Let me try to share. All right, here we go. Responder view, anyone with link. Publish the form. Give me a moment. Responders, we want manage. Responder view, anyone with the link, done. And publish. All right, I don't know why the formatting's so messed up. Let me try to turn off Dark Reader real quick on this browser. Nope, that doesn't work either. Okay, well, you guys are going to get the long version of the link because it's not letting me see stuff in Google Docs. All right, I see the AMAs, guys. Just keep your AMAs in mind. I'm going to ask for AMAs in a moment. I'm not going to scroll back up. I know who paid the cat to attack you, but they're watching. I appreciate you. I'll come to the AMAs once we're done with the giveaway. All right, I just dropped a link to the form in chat. I'm asking you to only fill it out once for your account. You have to have an account on the platform. So you'll notice, do you have an account on Hack Smarter? If you don't have an account on Hack Smarter, go make one. It is free. If you win, but you don't have an account, you're not going to be the winner. All right? So make sure you have an account on Hack Smarter, and all this is going to do is ask for your email. To be very clear, I am not going to dox you on email. When I draw the winners, I'll just show the first few characters of the email, and then you'll know who you are. So I'm not going to dox you. I'm also not going to use your email for anything else. Well, I suppose if you sign up on Hack Smarter, and I send emails like once every 2 months because I suck at marketing, you might get an email, but you can always unsubscribe. But other than that, there's nothing special going on. Oh, that's crazy, Gunner. I have a custom email. Will I get filtered? You will not get filtered out. Nope, you're good, Thicolo. None of it should be filtered because it's just going to drop it into a Google sheet for me so I can easily grab the names. So I'm going to leave that form open for just a few minutes and I'm going to close it and we're going to get the giveaway done. While we're doing that, guys, can I show you something cool if you haven't checked it out yet? So one thing that you may already know is we release new labs on the platform every single week. So there's always new content coming out, but we also have been working on ranges. So we just released I'm not signed in. We just released a brand new range on the HackSmarter platform. I just wanted to show you guys what this looks like. Give me a moment. Let me sign into my HackSmarter account. All right, here we go. So you can actually purchase these ranges standalone if you don't want a subscription. Otherwise, all access unlocks all the ranges. But these are cool. Let me jump over and I just want to show you guys what the range looks like. So that if you've ever done like a Hack the Box Pro Lab, it's sort of like that. Oh, drop the link on LinkedIn too. So I apologize when I post in Restream, it doesn't go to LinkedIn. Let me see if I can manually go to LinkedIn real quick and drop the link for you. Give me one moment. LinkedIn's live streaming features are a little bit bugged, so you may just have to come watch on YouTube or Twitch, but let me try my best. Okay, I just dropped the link in LinkedIn as a comment. Please let me know if you see it. Anyways, what I was going to say is if you've ever heard Hack the Box Pro Labs, it's like that, but it's better. One, every student gets a completely private instance. Number two, it saves your progress. So for example, if you reset a password, the password stays reset. I think I have a thing explaining this. Well, let me go. Welcome to the range. Yeah, every network is private. There's no other students on the range with you. Progress is saved. Walkthroughs and write-ups are strongly encouraged. No restrictions. So if you haven't checked out this range, it is really well done. I think you'll enjoy it. And a bunch of flags as you work your way through it. And plus, guys, we now have it so that it auto-verifies you on Discord. Well, kind of auto-verifies. Every time you complete a range, you can submit the flag on the HackSmarter Discord, and you get a cool little badge next to your name. So make sure you check that out. D-Man said, is there enough learning material on the platform to get you from beginner to being able to do one of these ranges? If you are a brand new beginner, you should start here, and it will actually give you a good path to outline. So there's a completely free mini course. So completely free, no strings attached underneath the course. It's called Foundations of Ethical Hacking. Go through that, D-Man, and I think it will help you figure out a path. Any plan on lab plus range only subscription? No. So like I thought about that. I don't want to be, no offense to Hack the Box, but I don't want 30 different subscriptions. If I did a lab plus range subscription, it would still be the same price as my current all access. All access is crazy, crazy affordable. To be honest, I should be charging significantly more, but the current price of all access is essentially me charging for labs plus ranges, and I'm just throwing in courses on top of it. So that's essentially what that is, based on the price point anyways. All right. Now, can you, I mean, you can ask questions now, but I'm not going to answer it. I was just asking questions about this. No, it hasn't appeared here. I mean, the link. I don't know what to tell you. I'll leave the link open one more minute. If you want the link, come watch on YouTube. I'm going to repost it on YouTube, but LinkedIn is buggy. There's nothing I can do about it. I don't know what to tell you. LinkedIn's live streaming feature just sort of sucks. There, I dropped the link one more time. I'll give you guys like one more minute that I'm shutting off that form, and we're going to get that giveaway done. Have you tried putting ranch on your bites? I should. All right, I'm going to get things ready for the giveaway. I'll also just say if you enter more than once, I'm just going to delete you from the giveaway. You have no chance of winning. All right, I'm closing it down. I've given you guys enough time. All right. About 100 of you filled it out. Nice. I'm going to very quickly verify that nobody tried to enter more than once, so give me a moment while I do that. See if people were honest. Okay, I have a little script. I'm going to run it through. And then, unfortunately, guys, I will have to do I will have to do the drawing not on the screen because it's going to have people's emails in it. You'll be able to hear my little color spin wheel. You're just going to have to take my word for it. I promise I'm not lying about the winner. I will tell you the first few characters of the winner's name once they win, but I'm not going to do the full drawing on stream because I don't want to dox people's emails. Fair? Fair. All right, let me grab everybody. And actually, before I do it, I'll answer your question in a bit. I need to find my anti-cheating script. I have a little script that I run that's called anti-cheating, but I don't know where it's at. Is it in stream? All right, enters. Okay, you guys are just going to look at my face while I make sure nobody cheated. I will say if you cheat, I am going to shame you. Like, I'm going to call you out publicly. I still won't dox your email, but I will shame you for trying to cheat. So if you did that, well, you'll learn not to. My phone is telling me it's time to stream. I know it's time to stream phone. I don't know where I put my little anti-cheater script at. All right, well, if it's not there, I'll just do a little bash one-liner. Oh, I found it. Oh, there was one person who double submitted. If your email starts with GAB and you have an iCloud email, you double submitted, my friend. You have been removed. I'm sorry. If it was on accident, I'm also sorry, but it's the rules. Let's see. Yeah, sort by you file name will do it as well, but it won't find emails that are similar, right? So if people use like an alias to try to bypass it, things like that, I have a little script that just catches that. Let me go to color pinwheel giveaway thing. Where is the pinwheel? Wait. I can't find it online. There's a little pinwheel. Oh, here it is. I found it. The gospinwheel.com. All right, give me 1 second. I'm grabbing all the emails that are unique. And they're in there. Now I'm going to remove your guys' emails from my machine because this is my streaming machine. And I don't want people's emails in there. All right. I'm going to go ahead and spin the wheel. I think you guys might hear it spin. I don't remember if it makes sounds. But remember, we are choosing 2 winners. Yeah, if you are too late, I'm sorry. We're choosing 2 winners. Here's the first winner. Let me spin the wheel. You guys hear it? Who's it going to be? It even laughs at you? All right. Give me a second. I'm going to add the winner's email on my host computer so that I don't lose it. All right. So the first winner. The first winner, your email starts with Poning, is what I'll tell you, because I don't think there's any other emails that start with that. So, whoever you are, if your email starts with Poning, oh, VecMath. Hey, VecMath, congratulations. You are the winner of the first one. As soon as I'm done selecting the second winner, I will add you to All Access right now. No payment info needed. No, there's no gotcha. I will manually add you, You'll log back into your HackSmarter account and you will have all access for the next 12 months. Happy hacking. Enjoy the platform. All right, we are going to pick one more winner. Let me remove you as the winner so you don't win twice. And here we go. Second winner's coming up. Guys, I freaking love the laugh. All right, the next winner. Let me add your email to my host machine so I have it. All right, the next winner. You have an email that begins with Nova. I think there's only one Nova. So whoever is the Nova email, you just won 12 months of all access. Congratulations. It was not NovaCart, but... So whoever that was, if you're in, you don't have to say who you are in chat if you don't want to. Before we continue, I'm going to add both of you to the all access subscription. Give me one moment. Catalog, bundles, all access, students. And I will just say, guys, if you're like, hey, I love HackSmarter, I would love to sponsor some giveaways, reach out to me and we can make it happen. So you know who you are who sponsored this. I appreciate you. The winners appreciate you. Let me go ahead and confirm. All right. Both of the two winners now have all access to HackSmarter. Congratulations. I will just say, if you didn't win, you know, all is not lost. The platform is incredibly affordable. And let me just show you guys a few things, some real quick self-promotion. If you're like, Tyler, I'm not sure what I think about HackSmarter, even though it's crazy cheap. If you click Learning Paths here or Learning Paths up here, let me show you a trick. Yeah, we can FOSS hacks. I'm down. If you go to our Learning Paths, we have an entire learning path called Free Content. All of these labs are completely free, no strings attached. So if you just want to get a taste for what HackSmarter is like, check out the free content first. And then if you enjoy it and want to support the platform, consider getting a subscription. It is very, very, very affordable, especially for all the content that you get access to. And as a reminder, we add new labs, new content every single week, all heavily focused on realism. All right, let me close out some of the extra things. Jay Sue says the labs are so good. Exactly. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. Oh, guys, also, I am giving away an OSCP voucher. VecMath, I appreciate you saying that. If I win the OSCP one, I'll cry. Guys, I forgot to mention that. Kind of important. A friend of mine we're partnering together. We're going 50-50 on an OSCP plus 90 days of lab access voucher, which I think is about an $1,800 value. No payment needed. To enter to win is completely free. All you have to do is go to HackSmarter, go to Hands-On Labs, and complete this free lab. It's a really cool lab based on a certain place I stayed at in Las Vegas. Me and 0x Bob were sitting at a table late at night, and we had this idea, and I was like, dude, I'm going to build this lab. It's going to be freaking awesome. But all you have to do is complete this lab. And then everyone who completes the lab will be entered into the drawing. And I don't remember the deadline I gave. I think it was September 27th is the deadline. And then I'm doing the drawing the first week of October on my live stream. You do not have to attend the live stream in order to attend. Oh, September 28th. Thank you. Yeah, September 28th. You don't have to attend the live stream to win that one. You just have to complete that free lab. I wanted it to be a way just to introduce people to HackSmarter completely free, so they could check out one of our labs and you're entered in for a chance to win the OSCP. I ask you not to cheat. If you try to cheat with multiple accounts, number one, you will get caught. Number two, you will be permanently banned from HackSmarter. And three, permanently banned from all giveaways. Me and my friend, we're going to partner on this again in the holidays and do another OSCP voucher giveaway in the holidays. So don't be the person who tries to cheat and gets caught. It's not going to be good for you. All right. Oh, thank you, Fostax. My CTF members met you at that dinner and were blown away by how nice you were. Tyler has love in these streets. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'll donate $500 or something. Mark my words. Yes, and I get ringworm. Yes. Can you give away some ranch? Oh, man. All right, guys. The ranch conspiracy on tricking the Discord server. Now what we are going to do is move over to the AMA time. So as I said, I still have a lot of Hack Smarter work to do, so I'm not going to stream super long, but would be happy to do an AMA. So let me just remind you guys of the context before we dive into it. Hi, my name is Tyler Ramsby. I am the founder of a pen testing company called Kairos and a training platform called Hack Smarter. As of last October, I am completely self-employed. I have no employer above me, which feels amazing. It's also terrifying at the same time. But if you have any questions at all about pen testing, cybersecurity, careers, entrepreneurship, business, YouTube, life in general, I may not have all the answers, but I will do my best to answer your question and at least say I don't know if I don't know the answer. So if you have questions, you can drop them in chat now. Nero Free says, C2s, you are big on Sliver, and I like it too after going through your training, but is that framework you actually use for your engagements, or do you use a commercial framework like Cobalt Strike? So I don't not use a commercial framework like Cobalt Strike, but it's because I don't do a whole lot of red team engagements. Sliver is more than what I need when I'm on like an internal pen test. If you are doing regular red team engagements, which let me just define my terms. KairoSec is a pen testing firm. We do not do red teaming. There actually is a big difference between pen testing and red teaming. Pen testing is very much time specific. You might have a week or 2 weeks to find all the vulnerabilities you can find in something like an internal network or a web app. The scope is very locked down, very specific, and very time limited. A red team engagement, on the other hand, is much longer. It could be 3 months, 6 months, sometimes an entire year. And the goal is not to find vulnerabilities, but rather goal execution. So if you're doing a pen test for a bank's internal network, you'll find as many vulnerabilities as you can and see if you can get to domain admin. If you're doing a red team engagement against a bank's network, your goal might be doing a fraudulent transaction. They don't care if you get domain admin. They care if you're able to weaponize domain admin while remaining stealthy as you work your way through the process. So the reason I don't use a lot of C2s is I don't do red teaming, which is where like Cobalt Strike is super helpful. On your typical internal pen test, using something like Sliver is really helpful to keep multiple shells coordinated, but you don't need to be as stealthy in using things like Cobalt Strike. Hopefully that answers your question. If you do a lot of it, it makes sense to buy it, but I don't do a lot of it. Matter of fact, the majority of pen testing that KairoSec does is web apps, which obviously a C2 doesn't make sense for web apps. All right. Thicolo said, have you ever preached at other churches, maybe different ethnic churches, different denominations? I have. Yes. I mean, I don't preach a whole lot now. You may not realize this, but preaching is like a significant amount of work. So when I preach, it's usually 30, maybe 40 minutes of heavily researched text, right? I spend a lot of time looking at the original languages, looking at the original context, and then trying to speak in such a way that's actually compelling to people. Now, I don't want to use this channel to promote religion in any way, shape, or form. I recognize that most people want nothing to do with religion, and I respect that. I'm not trying to push it on you. But for those of you who are interested in it, I do have a secret YouTube channel. Let me show it to you. But huge caveat, I'm really not trying to push this on anyone. It's just for those of you who are interested. But I have this secret YouTube channel called Theology with Tyler. And like when I do preach, I upload the messages here. So this is from last Sunday when I preached. So if you're interested in seeing that part of my world, there is the channel. I just dropped it in chat. All right, let me scroll back up. Do you do academic partnerships? I mean, I'm open to any type of partnership. Let me drop my email in chat. If you DM me on Discord or LinkedIn, to be honest with you, I'm probably not going to respond to you because I get way too many messages on LinkedIn and Discord. But if you send me an email, it might take me a day or two, but I will read and respond to you. So if you have an idea for a partnership or want to chat about what it looks like practically, yeah, shoot me an email, Rafi, if I'm saying that correct, and we can have that conversation. I have some of your courses on Simply Cyber. Can I access them on Hack Smarter? Yeah, just shoot me an email with a screenshot of your Simply Cyber dashboard, and I can manually enroll you in them on the Hack Smarter platform. So I just drop my email, grab my email, shoot me an email. You all don't know what's going on with the ranch tomorrow. Do you have ranch in the CTF thing? That'd be awesome. RNDX Dev said, should I switch careers? I'm currently a web developer, but I have a minor in cybersecurity from college. I love hacking and specifically web app pen testing. Now, I think there's probably two different questions here. If you have a background as a web developer, you already have a massive leg up on most web app pen testers, because being able to build something inherently makes you greater at being able to break something. It's just like when a sysadmin transitions to being an internal network pen tester, they're already highly skilled because they know what it looks like from the perspective of the inside and from the perspective of a sysadmin. So if you are transitioning from being a web developer to web app pen testing, that's going to give you a unique strength. But then you also ask the second question, should I switch careers? That's where I can only say I don't know. The job market in general right now is very, very difficult. And I think the job market for pen testing in particular can be even more difficult. Now, I think you might have an in RNDX Dev because you have that background as a web developer. I think you have a much higher chance of getting a web app pen testing role than the average person. And I'll also say, if you love hacking, then yes, you should at least try it, right? It doesn't hurt to apply for jobs, especially if you already have a job that you're stable in and if you get the opportunity to jump into it. So that was a very bad way of answering your question. I'll say, should I switch careers? My answer to you is I don't know, without knowing you personally, knowing your local job market, and knowing what that looks like for you. But I will say I love pen testing, and having a background as a web developer would give you a leg up when it comes to web app pen testing. Lancy Kevin said, for an informal freebie engagement, what's the minimum a report needs to contain to actually be useful to the client? I'm allowed to test my local gym over the weekend. First, I feel like I'm the AI model, but I would very strongly encourage you to pause. Unless you have an LLC set up and you have business insurance and you have cyber insurance, you should not touch the gym's network. I know I'm sort of like a buzzkill, but when it comes to doing an actual pen test and touching a real client's infrastructure, there's always a chance you're going to break something, especially if you're going into it without a whole lot of experience. And all it takes is you breaking something, and then you're looking down the barrel of a massive lawsuit, especially if you have no insurance to cover you and no training or certifications in that regard. So Lindsay Kevin, I would back up your question a whole lot and say, if you do not have insurance and an LLC that you are doing this through, you should not touch the gym's network. I know I'm a buzzkill, but I am saving you a lot of pain and suffering if something goes wrong. Now, the minimum report needs to contain to actually be useful to the client. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to see the network, but what kind of ranch is your favorite? I don't like ranch, Ross. Freaking you and actual. I don't really use ranch. Peace out, GRC Guardrail. My fam said, I'm an AI ML with an interest in cyber, especially ethical hacking. Could you give me some advice to break into machine learning in cyber without climbing the ladder from IT help desk? First of all, I don't think there's anything wrong with starting IT help desk. Number two, having a background in AI machine learning, I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know what your background actually is. I don't know if you just have an interest in it or if you actually work professionally with AI type stuff. But I will say being good at AI pen testing still begins with having very strong foundations. It's sort of like that GIF, if you've ever seen, or not GIF, that meme. Here, I'll even pull it up. Ethical hacker stair step meme. All right, this is what so many people do. I think it's probably more prevalent now with AI. I don't know why it won't let me zoom in anymore, but can I open the image in a new tab so it's not so small? There we go. So this is what way too many people do. They say, hey, I want to be an ethical hacker, and then they skip all the fundamental baselines. Whether this is AI hacking, web app hacking, network hacking, you need a very strong foundation in general IT before you're going to be competent as a hacker. Now, that doesn't mean you need to work help desk. It doesn't mean you need to be sysadmin. Those are a few paths to get there, but you do need a very strong foundation. And I know this sounds like more self-promotion. It's really not on purpose, but I wrote this entire free course specifically on that, on how to build that strong foundation and how to get the right certs, how to network. So I would just point you to this free course because I answer your question in significantly more depth there. Oh man, let me scroll back up. Every time I type in chat, I have to scroll back up and get to where I was at. So give me a moment. I see lots of good questions. How much experience in cyber/pen testing did you have before you started your own firm? So what's probably unique about me is I got my first IT job the summer after my senior year in high school. So that would have been in 2012 is when I got my first IT job. But then I did the ministry thing. So I was in pastoral ministry for about 10 years. But what you should recognize about churches is, unlike the people on TV with their private jets, I led very small rural churches and I was broke. So the entire time I was a pastor, I was always working multiple jobs. And part of working multiple jobs is I was always doing IT stuff on the side. IT stuff for a larger church. I did contract IT stuff for a few small businesses. So I've done IT stuff on the side since about 2012, but mainly a mix of help desk, sysadmin, and a management type stuff. As far as strictly cybersecurity, I mean, I got banned from using computers in high school. If that counts as cybersecurity, it's always been an interest of mine, but I spent a little over 3 years at a boutique pen testing firm called Rhino, which means, and I was actually one of the lead pen testers there, which means as a boutique firm, all we did was pen testing. So over 3 years, I did hundreds upon hundreds of web app, AWS, network, Azure, GCP, you name it. I did it, social engineering. So I did that there. Before I was there, I worked as a senior analyst at a large bank. That was blue team, more like, sounds cooler than it really is. It was basically just glorified vulnerability management. I don't know if that answers your question, but my story is unique because I spent a big chunk of my career doing pastoral ministry, but I also did IT stuff part-time on the side as I was doing that to pay bills. It's just during COVID is when I switched over to, I got really burnt out on the ministry side of things and went to, computers don't cry if you tell them to wear a mask, basically. Hey, RNDX Dev, I already answered your question. Maybe you're just asking it again, but I answered it before. Alita Wood said, hey, Tyler, I just qualified for CTF competition just by watching your channel and solving labs and Hack the Box. Any advice? It's my first CTF competition. First of all, that's awesome. Before I answer your question, I do just want to remind you guys, I am scrolling from the top. So if you asked a question, you don't have to ask it twice. I will eventually get to it. I promise. My advice, I've never done a CTF competition, Alita Wood, so I apologize. I don't actually have good advice for you. Usually CTFs are those Jeopardy style type things. I'm personally not good at them because most of the time they're not realistic, so I don't do them. So I'm actually not good at CTFs. I apologize, but I don't have good advice for an actual CTF competition. But people in chat will have better advice for you. So for those of you in chat, you tell Alita Wood any advice that you have for her first CTF. MZB909 said, is it beneficial for me to pursue a computer networking and cybersecurity degree? And is Kali Linux suitable for use during the degree program or not? I would say if you want to get a degree, I would not get a cybersecurity degree. Number one, everybody wants that. It's an oversaturated degree. Focus on computer science. If you get a bachelor's in computer science, it gives you very, very strong fundamentals in the basics of programming, scripting, how computers work, how networks work, some basic cybersecurity stuff. So I personally think a bachelor's in computer science is significantly more valuable than a bachelor's in networking and cybersecurity. Answer your second question, is Kali Linux suitable for use during the degree program? Kali Linux is not meant to be used as your primary operating system, bare metal. It should be used as a virtual machine. So if you're in a degree program at a college, you might want to use Windows, as much as it makes me vomit a little bit in my mouth because I hate Windows. I personally use Ubuntu, and I think Ubuntu is an amazing OS, but I would not suggest using Kali Linux as your primary OS, regardless of what degree program you're in. Hey, Tyler, I have a YouTube channel called Pretzel Pete. YouTube, what advice would you give? I made an entire video answering that question. So instead of me re-answering the question, let me grab that video for you. So I made this video, my advice for live streaming. This also talks about just my advice for channels as well. So let me drop in chat. But I also want to say a big caveat, guys, that I am by no means a quote unquote successful YouTuber. Like, I've been doing this for 5 years, almost 6 years, and I only have a little over 50,000 subscribers, and I don't make clickbait videos. So like, if you want to be big on YouTube, you have to make short clickbait videos about the latest news. I make like technical deep dives that a handful of people find interesting, but I'm really not good at the YouTube game, nor do I care to be good at the YouTube game. I just like to make content that I personally find interesting. And if you watch my videos, you'll actually learn something. It won't just be a clickbaity 3-minute video rage baiting people to get views, for the most part. Sometimes, but not often. Rip It said, Tyler, I'm getting pretty senior in cyber and I want to mentor, tutor, and help people get into red teaming pen testing. I would also like to get into consulting. Would you mind providing insight? One, for the mentoring side of things, if you're interested in volunteering your time, we actually have a program in Hack Smarter. We have coaches who volunteer their time. We tell people to donate to a nonprofit of their choice, and they can meet one-on-one with the coach, and then they receive that one-on-one mentorship tutoring. If you're interested in that, I dropped my email earlier. I'll drop it again, but just shoot me an email. We can at least have that conversation. As far as getting into consulting, I will say consulting's not for everyone. My friend Kaiser Clark, if you guys have ever heard of him, he was in pen testing consulting and he hated it. He made a video about why he strongly dislikes consulting. I strongly love consulting, but I just say that to say that it's very much not for everyone. My advice for getting into consulting is you want to try to find a boutique pen testing firm. Those words matter. There's a lot of pen testing firms that are very large, and if you get hired as a pen tester or consultant there, the majority of your time, you're not going to be doing pen testing. You'll be doing other things like configuring firewalls and silly things like that. If you get hired at a small boutique pen testing firm known for research, which is what Rhino Security Labs was when I worked there, that is by far the best place that you can work as a consultant. You get to do a massive number of engagements, many of them very, very complex, many of them solo on your own with maybe a senior to help you if you need help. You get exposure to a bunch of different clients. You get exposure to doing real vulnerability research, things of that nature. So I know that that advice is not something you can control, but if you can get a job at a boutique pen testing firm that only does pen testing and not anything else, that's the best way to get your feet wet in the industry. Who is the lab creator for the lab release tomorrow? This is how much I still need to look at it. I don't know, Dark Trace. It's gone through our QA team. Our QA team really enjoyed it. I haven't gotten a chance to really look at this lab that closely. That's why I'm not streaming super long, because I need to get everything ready for release tomorrow. But off the top of my head, I don't even know who the creator is. I don't remember. If you're in chat, I apologize. You let us know. It's the CTOS lab, I think is what it's called. So if that was you, I apologize for forgetting that it's you, but you can let us know in chat. Will WireGuard be an option for VPN on the labs? No, probably not. The current VPN for the labs is what the VPN is going to be. It works for 99.9999% of people. I'm going to make a machine and name it Ranch ATP. You should do it. And the user that you compromise should definitely be actual. Thanks, Ashley. Do you go live weekly? Yeah, I try to go live a few nights a week, but you have to keep in mind, I do run a pen testing firm. I am on pen test every single workday until October. So I'm very, very busy on the pen testing side of things. You have to keep in mind, Kairos is just a fancy name for me being a freelancer, I guess. It's so funny. So Kairos, I'm the only paid employee. I manage sales. I manage the pen testing. I do the actual pen testing. It's funny when bigger companies reach out. They're like, hey, have your legal team review this. And I'm like, I got you. But as a result, I don't have people I delegate to. Like, I am Kairosek. So when I'm on an engagement, I have to very much lock into that engagement and not do anything else. And then to be blunt with you, when I am like doing very deep technical work for 9 hours a day, then I get a very short break to hang out with my kids. The last thing I want to do most of the time at night is go back in front of my computer and do more hacking. Like, if you've never sat and hacked for that long on an engagement, by the end of the day, your brain is absolutely scrambled and fried. Like, you just need to disconnect. So it's when I'm doing these types of engagements, it's just very, very hard for me to then jump on and stream. I just want to like pass out and let my mind rest, because as soon as I wake up, it's back to the pen testing grind. So I'll say yes. Usually I go live multiple times a week, but I make no guarantees on when I'll go live in the current season of life, because I'm just swamped on the pen testing side of things. Good problem to have, but it's still a problem nevertheless when I'm also trying to stream and make content. All right, scrolling, see any questions. Hobby T Day said, what's up? What actually worked best for getting your first pen testing clients? Cold outreach, LinkedIn referrals, networking, content, or something else? Content. I have never done any outbound sales. I do not reach out to people. I tried it in the beginning when I was first launching Kairos and it didn't work. People just ignored me, and I didn't want to be that guy spamming people on LinkedIn. All of the clients that I have gotten through Kairosec has been inbound leads based on the personal branding that I have built. Whether it's someone who connected me on LinkedIn, someone who's gone through a course on Hack Smarter, someone who follows me on YouTube, like many of you. We have right around 100 people watching right now. Many of you are security engineers in your workplace, and your workplace, your job, your company needs an annual pen test. And I would just ask you, when you need the annual pen test, reach out. I would love to at least have a conversation, meet you and your team, and see if we'd be a good fit. But that's how I have found all my clients, is just through this. It has worked really well for me. Also, keep in mind, because I'm only one person, I don't need a massive number of clients. I don't have a bunch of other mouths essentially that I'm trying to feed, or full-time salaries I'm trying to pay. And so I can be very selective with who I work with and with the way I set my schedule, which is helpful. All right, drink of water. I'll answer some more questions. I'd like to purchase a subscription. We are tax exempt. Do you have a way for me to pay with the tax exemption? I do not charge for taxes, so all of them are tax exemption. We'll see if I eventually get in trouble for that. It's confusing. I live in South Dakota. You generally don't have to pay sales tax in another state until you establish nexus in that state. Nexus is generally revenue level, so you generally don't have to pay sales tax in another state until you sell $200,000 worth of revenue, or sometimes $100,000 worth of revenue in that state. And I am fairly confident that Hack Smarter is not even close to that for any state. The one exception is if I sell to somebody in South Dakota, I do have to do sales tax, but I just then say it's included in the price, and then I pay the sales tax separate. But if you purchase a subscription, it is technically tax exempt for you. You all get tax exemptions. Congratulations. So T Garner, purchase it. Taxes aren't going to be charged to you, I promise. And if you're in South Dakota, I will end up just paying your share of taxes anyways, which I don't. It's such small number of sales. It doesn't matter to me. Random Mario Full said, thinking about starting my own cybersecurity consulting, maybe in the next 2 years, NIST Audit and Security Solutions. What is your early experience in starting yours? I would say, do not compare yourself to me. I very much found a cheat code. I think a lot of people look at this whole journey, maybe not a lot of people, that's an overstatement. Some people, probably a minority of people, look at this past year of me. Like, I quit my high-paying job for a pen testing firm in Seattle on October 1st. I've been fully self-employed, and from day one, I've never had to touch savings. My business has been self-sustaining from day one. I've been able to pay myself a salary every month. I've been able to cover all my bills every month. I've been able to cover health insurance every month. That is very, very, very rare in your first year as an entrepreneur or a small business owner. What worked in my favor is, before launching this, I spent 5 years making free content, being present in the community, doing what I can to give back to people in the community, focusing on personal branding, whatever you want to call it. Was not my intention. Well, actually it was in some ways. I told my wife that eventually I was going to do this. I just didn't think I was going to do it this soon. But I laid the groundwork for this for multiple years. Many, many late nights, giving stuff away all of the time out of my own pocket to build an audience so that I was able to quit my job and do my own thing and not be broke when I do it. So I guess my experience in starting mine is it has gone significantly better than I could have ever imagined. But a lot of it is really just those many years of late nights, creating content, live streaming, doing these things when I'm exhausted, that eventually paid off. And it's been freaking amazing. Now, I'm not making a crazy amount of money. Matter of fact, I am paying myself half the salary I used to make. So I took a 50% pay cut. I was making really good money from that firm in Seattle. I pay myself 50% less, 50% less, so I can work for myself. But here's the beauty. My other advice is if you can live in rural South Dakota, that's the place to live. I live in rural South Dakota. I live in a town of population of 1,000 people. The average household income in my community is about $50,000 a year, which if you're in the US, you know that that's not much at all. So I don't need much money at all to live, which makes entrepreneurship a lot more sustainable for me because I don't need to make a bunch of money. I just don't. And that's also been helpful. I don't know if that helps you, but probably not. Move to rural South Dakota and you won't need that much money. I'll also say that when I quit my job, I was making significantly more money working at Rhino Security Labs that I didn't need, right? So I've always lived below my means. So when I was a pastor, I made about $40,000 a year, $30,000 to $40,000 a year. I could go back to that right now and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Once I started making more money, I didn't upgrade anything. I live in the same house, drive the same vehicles. Like we didn't upgrade our lifestyle, which means all the extra money I was able to have there. And when I quit my job, I had about 1.5 years worth of expenses saved up, which means I could go 18 months making no money and I would be fine because I had that money built up by living below my means. That's my other suggestion for you. The Cola said, my first LLC went under, and thank God it did. I would have lost everything if it wasn't for the LLC. Yep. Banned from Discord, you probably deserved it. Marino said, for AMA, I landed a job as a pen tester recently. What Tyler would want in a brand new person entry level do during the first year as a new pen tester? What are best tips for junior pen tester to do good? That'd be a good video to make. I would say as a junior pen tester, be teachable. Honestly, that's probably the best advice I can give you. Be teachable, be curious, be willing to listen, but also be willing to try things on your own. So I remember my first year as a pen tester, they would be like, hey, Tyler, do you know how to do mobile app pen testing? I would say, I have no freaking idea, but if you give me a few weeks, I'll figure it out and I'll do it. They say, hey, Tyler, do you know how to do AWS pen testing? And my answer was no, but I guarantee you I can figure it out. And I just learned all these different assessment types. So by the end, I was leading pen testing in web apps, APIs, external networks, internal networks, AWS. I developed Azure and GCP offerings for the firm that I was working at, social engineering, mobile app pen testing, you name it. I was not only doing it, but I was teaching it to other people at the company and raising juniors on it. And the reason I was able to do that is I'm just a sponge. I was then, I am now. Like I just love learning. And if you give me an assessment type that I don't know, I will freaking figure it out and I will do a good job doing it. But it's that drive, that willingness to learn, that willingness to soak in all the knowledge. That's what's going to help you succeed. Our Wi-Fi Pineapple is the best tool for free Wi-Fi on a plane. Asking for a friend. Yeah, I think so, because if you use it for free Wi-Fi on a plane, you get a free Uber ride when you get off the plane. So it seems like a good idea. Yeah, XJR, I'm looking forward to it. That's awesome, Jolly. All right, I'm still, guys, if you ask questions, I'm still like way scrolled to the top, so I'll eventually get to it. Where offensive skill like your AD Sliver C2 Labs would actually plug into that versus just building general intuition and shit. I would focus on Active Directory internal pen testing, potentially Ashley Crane. I don't know context here though. I'm not a very good AI. I don't have good context memory. Any advice on bridging governance and offensive security without going too shallow on either side? I don't do any governance stuff, so I probably don't have good advice for that. I do straight pen testing. Oh man, guys, it's getting late and I still have to do Hack Smarter stuff. So I'm going to try to speed run some questions. So my answers are going to be short, but I'll try to still be helpful. I'm a high school student. What are some skills to learn? I can learn. I already know foundations of networking. I've built basic load balancers, but I want to know what to do hacking wise. Hacksmarter.org. And go through the free course. All right, go to hacksmarter.org and go through Foundations of Ethical Hacking mini course. That would be my suggestion for you. It's free. Hey, Taylor. My name's Tyler, but that's okay. For a beginner starter in cybersecurity who has Sec Plus, AWS, CCP, TCM, PORP, and Blue Team knowledge is doing AI security certs like Hack the Box, COAE, THM, A1 worth it given AI skills and job qualification. What would be worth it is working better on your written communication skills. I'm being absolutely serious. It was very hard for me to follow what you were saying. And a big part of being a pen tester is being able to communicate well. I think to answer your question, is it still worth learning in light of AI? Yes, it is still worth learning in light of AI. All right, scrolling. Help me out. If you drink rats, you can skip all that. You can. I agree. Thank you, not a real user. Guys, the Hack Smarter Discord is completely free. It's amazing. Make sure if you need help hacking like Instagram and stuff, there's a guy in there. I think he changed his name to Actual Ramsby. So let me type his name in chat. I think his name is, he jacked my name. All right. Actual Ramsby is not me. I just dropped a link in Discord, but if you need help like hacking Instagram, Actual Ramsby is your guy. And mobile app pen testing too, he loves DM, so you can make sure you DM him. He'll really enjoy that. But definitely join the Discord, for real. Don't ask how to hack Instagram because the ban hammer will ban you. You'll see what I'm talking about if you do it. Wow, so many questions. I can't even figure out where I was at. All right, here we go. Scrolling. Speedpunk said, Tyler, I've been hard at work on the OT lab for Hack Smarter. Let's freaking go. Have you ever worked with a company you asked about including their OT environment in an IT pen test? I have not, but I very much don't advertise that I do OT because I do not know how to do OT. So guys, Speedpunk, if you see him in chat, he is making an OT lab for Hack Smarter. I saw like the outline. It looks really freaking cool, but I do not know OT pen testing. So I'm excited to learn from it. Jason said, what's something the cybersecurity community treats as important that you think is actually overrated? Try Hack Me. Sogo Hotel said, hey, Tyler, have you tried Grokbot? I've automated running through InfoStealer logs, but Grokbot is making me log into each account individually. Any tips to fully automate this? I haven't tried Grokbot. I apologize. I don't know what InfoStealer logs you're going through in Grokbot, but no, I have no idea. Tyler, would you recommend learning reverse engineering if you're interested in malware analysis? Yes. Which is best, bug bounty or pen test? Pen testing by far is much more stable income than bug bounty. It's not even close. Not even close. All right, I'm just scrolling. It's right. Jolly said I'd be better at YouTube if I use Ranch. That's probably true. What's the best advice you could give to someone interested in starting a security consulting pen testing company? My best advice is don't start something if you haven't spent at least a few years at a very strong boutique pen testing firm. And then if you have, focus on personal branding, building a platform, because that's how you're going to get clients. Scrolling. Z-Taggett said, I've been consulting at a boutique firm for about a year and he's spot on. See, guys, I'm telling the truth. I will just say, guys, one thing that hopefully separates me from other so-called influencers is I'm actually in the industry. All right? I'm not just a YouTuber. I don't just make videos. I literally spend my days doing pen testing, speaking to clients, doing sales, working in the field. I am in the industry. So when I give you guys advice, it is not like so many YouTubers who... So many of them, they haven't even been a pen tester. It drives me crazy. I see these YouTubers saying, hey, here is the roadmap to become an ethical hacker. And then you look at their freaking background and they have never professionally been an ethical hacker. And I'm like, why are you teaching people how to become a pen tester when you yourself couldn't even break into the field as a pen tester, but because you couldn't break in, you decided to pivot to YouTube and selling courses. All right, before you buy a course from someone, ask the question, are they actually in the freaking industry? And if they're not, ignore them. Rant done. But when I give you guys advice, I speak as someone who is in the industry, not just a talking head influencer type person. MZB said, also, is it good if during my time in university I get the chance to work or get in with CrowdStrike? Absolutely, that's good. How big is the team that you work with for Hack Smarter? It's just me and some volunteers. Well, kind of. So the back end of Hack Smarter is a mix of CoreStack and AWS. CoreStack is another startup that is the back end of Hack Smarter. They're really good friends of mine. CoreStack is just a team of 3 people, personal friends of mine, and I'm in a Slack with them. So they're kind of like the back end devs and infrastructure engineers for Hack Smarter. On the actual Hack Smarter side of things, I'm the only full-time employee, but I'm not even full-time because I also run Kairosec. And then 0x Bob, who makes our official walkthroughs, he is paid a very, very small part-time salary for his walkthroughs and also to manage the QA process. And then we have an amazing team of volunteers on the QA team who QA the labs before they're released. I cannot afford to actually pay full-time people on Hack Smarter yet. Hopefully the day will come, but unfortunately I'm not even close to being able to do that yet. What should we do to work with you? You can't. I literally can't hire anyone. So there's nothing you can do to work with me. I'm sorry. Is Kairosec open to partnerships? Depends what you mean by partnership. But yeah, probably. Shoot me an email. Drop my email again in chat. Is there ever a time where you don't have any findings at all during these engagements? I mean, occasionally, maybe not no findings, but like nothing impactful, especially if it's like an external network pen test. Those can be pretty boring. What I do then is just create a big list of strengths. So what you guys need to understand is good pen testing doesn't only find vulnerabilities in their environment, it finds what the client is doing well. So if you ever hire me for your company, you'll see how I do my pen testing reports, but you'll notice in the beginning, I have a summary of strengths. I will give like 10 to 12 different things that the company did really, really well. And then I'll go into the vulnerabilities or the findings. But I personally think a good pen test should point out both the good and the bad. If you're only pointing out the bad, you're not doing a good job. If you're only pointing out the good, you're not doing a good job. It should be a good balance. You should call out the good that they're doing and then call out some areas of improvement in the report. Would you ever hire like a socials guy? I know you said you wouldn't hire another pen tester, but what about other roles that take some stuff off of your plate? I mean, what would a socials guy do? I don't mean to be a jerk, but I don't know anyone, like, I am better at social media and marketing than most people I know. And it's just me being natural, right? I feel like I see these like promoted posts on LinkedIn of these people saying like, hey, you pay us $800 a month and we will automate your LinkedIn pipeline. And I look at their pages and I'm like, yo, I have 70,000 followers. You have 2,000 followers. Why would I pay you to automate my LinkedIn pipeline? Clearly, you're not doing it right. So I don't know. Socials isn't something that I would outsource because it's very much natural to me. I love talking, love communicating, love teaching. And the way I've grown my social media platform is just taking those things and sharing it, being real, not using freaking AI when I type stuff. It's worked well for me. So I don't know if I'd hire a socials media person. If I was ever able to hire someone, I would love to hire people for the Hack Smarter side of things to help with that platform, because that's actually a significant amount of work that I put in, and it's almost always late at night in the evenings. I just do not have the ability to do that yet. Yeah, dude, I saw that Pebble stream for 9 hours. That dude's a madman. All right, Sierra Montgomery said, in the Hack Smarter training scope, what tech gap are you seeing most, and what skill mindset are you seeing learners develop that signals real-world pen test readiness the most, in your opinion? The biggest gap is people overly reliant on AI for troubleshooting and learning. If the moment you encounter an issue, you copy and paste it into ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, freaking DeepSeek, whatever you want to paste it into, and you don't even slow down a little bit to think through it with your own brain, you are setting yourself up for failure. Yes, AI is an amazing tool, but AI still hallucinates, and it will get you into these rabbit holes where you just get stuck. Having the ability to troubleshoot on your own is an amazing key skill that I see so many people losing, right? So when I got into IT back in 2012 was when I got into it. I got banned from using computers in high school in like 2009, 8. And then even when I got my OSCP back in 2021, that was before the release of ChatGPT, or 2020, I think. There's just a massive difference learning offensive security now compared to learning even just a few years ago because of the temptation to be overly reliant on AI. AI is an amazing tool, but do not outsource your brain to AI. I don't know if that answers your question, Sierra Montgomery, but that's what I think of. A 26-year-old learning cybersecurity for jobs. What's your opinion? I have a course on that that's free called Foundations of Ethical Hacking. Go to hacksmart.org, go through the course. Tyler, you should try a range. I did entire series, guys. I have an entire series on Bitstream, an entire series on Dark Haven on my YouTube channel. Do you have a spare couch available? Yeah. I'm trying to start a channel and get my name brand out there. Would you allow me to post a video review at the platform for a beginner? You can do whatever you want. There's no restrictions. Post as many reviews as you want. Even if you're like, freaking platform's terrible, Tyler's a scammer, you have the freedom to do that. Yeah, go ahead. When you landed your first pen testing role at Rhino, how did you demonstrate your pen testing ability without prior employment as a pen tester? YouTube. I was already like highly technical before I even started that pen testing role. And so actually I landed my job as a pen tester before I even had the OSCP. I got hired as a pen tester and I had the OSCP scheduled a month later. Thankfully I took it and passed it. But personal branding and my ability to communicate, which is huge, right? As a consultant, here's the thing that Rhino and other companies recognize. They can teach you how to hack. They can teach you technical skills if you have solid foundations. It's a lot more difficult to teach communication skills. So I had 10 years of experience as a pastor. I can stand in front of people. I can speak. I can communicate clearly. I can do it one-on-one as well. I can speak to clients really well. That was my key strength for landing a role as a pen tester. And I would say if there's anything to work on to get your foot into the door, technical skills, they're obviously important, but you can learn that. If you have incredible communication skills, you will get hired as a pen tester a lot quicker than being the leadest hacker in the room, but not being able to communicate your findings to a technical and non-technical audience. That has always been my superpower, is my ability to communicate from being a pastor for 10 years. So obviously you guys can't go back and be a pastor for 10 years, but you can work on communicating, whether that's finding a local meetup that you can attend and speak at occasionally, speaking in Discord, doing a workshop on your own. The only way to get better at communicating is to communicate. The more that you speak, the more that you teach, the better you will get. When you first start doing it, you're going to suck, but the only way to get better is to keep doing it. Having strong communication skills will open a door for you. I can't guarantee it, but I think it will. What do you think of Port Swigger's research papers? They're awesome. That's what I think of them. Do you think you'll ever do an Adaptix course like Sliver? Maybe. My next course, I want to be Active Directory, though. Which is important for pentest or AD or web app hacking? The best skill to develop to land a role as a web app or land a role as a pentester outside the communication skills is web app hacking. I will just say I have an entire course on web app hacking. It is 50% off, 50% off. And it comes with a 100% money back guarantee, no time limit. I'll drop a link in chat. But it's a video course with 80 plus videos, 30 plus custom labs, 160 hours of lab time. If you go through this course, you're not significantly more skilled pen tester by the end, shoot me an email. I'll refund you 100% of what you paid. No questions asked, no time limit. That's how much I believe in it. Check out the course. But having strong web app skills is going to help get your foot in the door, because most organizations have a web app. It's public facing, has a large attack surface. And as a junior pen tester, you're more than likely going to do significantly more web app pen tests than you're going to do internal Active Directory pen tests. All right, scroll up. Yeah, AD pen testing is important, absolutely. But as I said, as a junior pen tester, you're going to do a lot more web app pen testing at most firms. Not all, but most firms. It's true, Thickolo, I agree. Z Tackett, who is working as a pen tester, said, Tyler got me there 1,000. I've told him that several times over the past year. Take his advice. Take the advice. The Colo said even some of those cyber professionals never work deeply in their area either. A lot of the big influencers are grifters. It is true. There's exceptions, but yeah. Oh, interesting. So Z Tackett said, I had some of the background, his videos, me, Tyler, is what gave me the confidence to start putting hands on keyboard. When he posted he was leaving Rhino, I applied and interviewed. So even interviewed at Rhino, probably with some of my friends. Got passed up, but I got hired by a different boutique 2 months later. I freaking love it, dude. That is so cool. Did you go to DEF CON? If so, how was your DEF CON? I did go to DEF CON. It was my 5th DEF CON. I think 5th. 4th? I don't know. I've been to DEF CON a few times. It was amazing. I enjoyed it. It was my favorite DEF CON yet. I will be at Wild West Hacking Fest in October and Simply CyberCon in November. If anyone's going to be there, would love to hang out. Do you or anyone you know if Xerox Bob Talk at DEF CON was recorded and posted? I am not sure. You'd have to ask the Ginger Hacker. It might be on his YouTube channel, but I'm not sure. I think he was recording it. We got Alex. In all seriousness, we got fired up talking about ambition, drive, passion, the food court of that hotel we were at DEF CON. People, don't underestimate how far curiosity and passion can take you. That's right, dude. That was amazing. I was inspired. You were like preaching to us, dude, jumping around. It was amazing. Kennedy Green, cyber, along with a lot of CTS, be enough for a pen testing job even without getting any of the popular certs? Maybe, maybe not. If you don't have strong personal branding, probably not. If you can build a personal brand, like a personal platform, like people know your name, you give back to the community, then yes, you can definitely get a pen testing job without certs. For entry-level jobs, why am I seeing more SOC jobs than pen test jobs? Because there's a lot more SOC jobs than there are pen test jobs. I don't know how else to say that. SOC jobs are needed more than pen test jobs. All right, guys, I need to jump off. I need to work on the Hack Smarter platform to get that lab ready to release tomorrow morning. So, I see there are other questions, but I do need to leave. I apologize, but we have a new lab release on Hack Smarter tomorrow morning. It's Active Directory. It's going to be freaking amazing, but it's only going to be amazing if I get the lab ready to release tomorrow morning. And it's getting late at night, and I have to wake up early in the morning because my kids have school in the morning. So I have to leave, but I appreciate you guys being here. Oh, BlazeBits and the Shy Hat are live on Twitch. Oh my goodness. Who do you guys want to raid? You guys tell me, BlazeBits or the Shy Hat. Both of them are amazing streamers. BlazeBits lately has been going through Hack Smarter. Let me see if he's doing Hack Smarter right now. If he's doing Hack Smarter, then he's not doing Hack Smarter. Okay. He's doing his new stuff, which is cool too. You guys tell me who you want to raid. The Shy Hat or BlazeBits. Now, if you're like, what the frick is a raid? It only works if you're on Twitch. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, you have to come join on Twitch. But to raid is we take all of our viewers, we send them to another streamer to show some love. All right, I'm seeing people say the Shy Hat. Sorry, Hack, we're calling it a night. I will likely be streaming tomorrow. I'm making no guarantees, though. It depends how burnt out I am from pen testing tomorrow if I feel like doing more hacking in the evening. Let me get this raid set up, though. Now, the key is when we raid someone, we have a raid phrase. So our raid phrase is going to be Hack Smarter, not harder. So make sure everyone spams Hack Smarter, not harder in chat on Twitch. If you're not on Twitch, which most of you are on YouTube, go there. Yep, winners all declared. All that stuff's done. Sorry. You're just getting started with cyber. Go to hacksmart.org. Go to Foundations of Ethical Hacking. It's a completely free mini course. But guys, I am signing off. I'm going to do this raid. I will hopefully catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.